Hey guys, Jay here, bringing you my own personal deck build. Well, just bear with me. This is my first one, so hopefully I get it right and you guys make a pretty good deck. This is the first time I built this deck, and basically the first time. And I played it today against Morgan and Alex. My video against Morgan is up right now, I believe. If YouTube isn't being a little, what's the word? Anyway, first of all, I got some new cards today, and I added them in, and they work amazingly well in here. First of all is, Gale Flame, the Assaulter. Now, he's a level 4 cost and 5,000 attack. Fast attack and burning speed, which is amazing for this deck. Because this deck is mainly composed of a quick attack, right? Like, just basically overwhelm your opponent within, like, 6 turns. All you really need is 8 mana in your pool, and basically 8 mana, and you're good. You can summon anything inside this whole entire deck. Next is Bolt Tail Dragon. Now, this is one of the newer cards I got today. I did not buy a Dojo Edition box or a Bull Rush deck. These are cards I traded with Morgan. And anyway, this guy is amazing in this deck. He's a level 8 cost. Like I said, it runs on 8 mana, this whole entire deck. So this guy in here is awesome. He has fast attack and a double breaker. Now, next, of course, are 2 Comet Missiles. You can put 3 if you want, but for me, 2 works just fine. And awesome thing is, this whole entire deck runs on just 1 or 2 red. You don't have to waste all your reds. This deck is mainly composed of Nature and Darkness. Red in here is just basically for backup and a little bit extra muscle. Now, of course, you guys already know what Comet Missile does, so I'm not going to explain that one. And 2 Blaze Belchers. Again, very useful card in here. First turn, if you're able to draw him and something else, drop a red, summon him. 2 is amazing. Of course, 2 sorry about this. Draglade the Swiftest. Sorry, I have ADHD, so sometimes words just don't stick. I call him first striker. Because, as soon as he's on the field, attack. And yeah, so again, you know what he does. 3 Tuturians. Now, this deck is mainly composed of bringing these 3 out. Alright, if possible 2, but again, just 1 is good enough. But yeah, it's just meant to overwhelm your opponent, and these guys are awesome. Now, next up are, let me read the name. Raging Galliant, or whatever it's called, sorry. Anyway, it's a pack leader. Basically, it gives a plus 2,000 to any Beast King on the field. Again, you guys already know this, but just verifying for those who don't know it. Now, this guy is mainly here to help this guy, Tuturian. If you have if you have all these on the field, you're good. There's nothing that can stop your creatures besides Terror Pit or Root Trap or Razor Kinder. But even so, if they're lucky enough to actually use all 3 of those, then yeah, you're kind of screwed. But still, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good build, I guess, for that. Next up are 3 Root Traps. This deck is mainly composed of having 10 Shield Blasts, and Root Trap is a big component into that. So yeah. Next up are Bronze Arm Tribe. 3 of them. These guys are mainly here to help build up your mana. Like I said, by turn 6 or 7, you should have about 8 mana. If you're lucky, It just depends on what you draw, really. But so far, again, it's been really helpful to me. And I actually just going to keep working with this deck and build up with it. And yeah, hopefully it continues to be a really strong deck. Again, you already know what he does. And Essence Elf. 3 of them. Again, these guys are here to help out Taturian and the other guy. I'm just going to call him RG. You know who I mean. If you don't know who I mean, just go back a little. The guy who gives plus 2,000. These guys, if you're able to bring all three of them out, plus the RGs and Taturians, you're amazingly good. This is what the deck is mainly composed of. Just bringing out these guys and, you know, hitting your opponent hard. Next are 3 Sprouts. These guys are very useful. Sometimes I get unlucky. Oh, so far today I've been unlucky and just being able to activate 1. These 2 somehow end up in my mana pool, or 1 in the mana, the other in the grave. Don't ask me how, I don't even know. And then, of course, 3 Return to the Soils. You already know what that does, so I'm not going to waste time. If you don't know what it does, too bad. A new card I added today is, excuse me, Black Feather of Shadow Abyss. He basically is, I'm not really too sure if he even works in this deck. I mean, I've only summoned him once, and so far he hasn't really been useful. But then again, I kind of went up against Alex, and dude, honestly, I'm going to admit this to you guys, Alex is terrifying. Whenever he builds a deck, it's terrifying. I'm surprised I even beat his deck 2 times. Again, he built a rush deck, and it was mainly composed of attacking me and attacking my monsters. And it was just composed of like 9 creatures, to the rest being mana, or not mana, sorry, Shield Blast. And so I'm actually surprised I actually beat him. But again, this guy, against Alex, this was really useless, but I'm going to keep him in here just in case, you know, later on along the road he actually becomes useful. If he doesn't, I'm taking him out. But for now, you know, if you want to add him, go ahead. Next up is Dream Pirate. He's only there for blocking. Really, there's nothing else. He's useless to attack unless somehow you have him and 2 other creatures, and your opponent only has 2 shields left. You know, if you're lucky enough, bam, you win with Pirate. You win with the Dreamy Pirate. Yeah. Skull Cutter. Now, this guy here is mainly here because of Slayer. You know, so far it's actually been useful to me. I've used it a few times, I think. And it's really fun to use against Taturian or some other card, some very high level card. And that's just amazingly fun to use. It's just there to annoy your opponent a little, I guess. Fumus. Fumus is here for, again, no real reason. I guess just mana pool, or if you actually want to summon him. You get your opponent to discard a card they could have probably used against you later on, or just, I don't know, something. You get a very, I don't know. Anyway, Bone Blades next. And yeah, Bone Blades is very useful. It's actually helped me out so much today. It saved my butt so many times against Morgan and Alex. And you didn't even see how many games Morgan and myself played off camera. So, yeah. And normally, you know, you probably might want to run 3, but I run 2. And it's been helping me out like that. One is mainly in my mana pool, the other I summon it. I've never been able to just summon both of them throughout the game. Mainly because of Sprout or the other guy, the one that takes the first card added into your mana pool once he enters the battlefield. You know, it's always somehow one of these 2 that are on the top of my deck ends up in my mana pool. Or I draw them first turn and I just drop them. But yeah, you know, if you want to add them, go ahead. Terrapit, of course, a favorite. Terrapid, basically, it kills anything, which is pretty cool. And yeah, not going to dwindle on that mainly. And here we go. The 3 most annoying cards in my whole entire deck. Skeeter Swarmer. Now, Skeeter Swarmer, basically, with Essence Elf on the field, with 2 or 3 Essence Elf on the field, it can stop anything. Skeeter Swarmer would stop anything with 3 Essence Elves on the field. And that's just fun, because it's actually helped me out a lot as well. Alright, well, that's pretty much my whole deck build of this new deck that I built today. Still not too sure on the name. I might just add the name in later once I figure what I want to call it. I think I kind of have a hint of what I want to call it, but I'm not going to announce it. You'll just have to read it up at the top. Anyway, so yeah, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. And so, yeah, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Sorry, I'm not really too sure. Again, ADHD, and I'm not really too sure how to do this completely well. Alright, well, have a good day.